Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel, and today we're doing a comparison review between the TaylorMade Stealth 2 HD hydro irons against JPX923 hot metal. Now, these are possibly the super game improvement irons of the range, although one has a quite clear advantage when it comes to size, and that's the TaylorMade. This is basically a hybrid, where Mizuno don't make a hybrid for the same kind of idea, but it's as close as we can get. They've both got tech. We'll go very, I mean, I've done full reviews. So if you want to know up there, go on full reviews. Obviously watch them after this video, but more in depth you can go into that. So when it comes to the TaylorMade, they've got the echo dampening system because obviously being a hybrid iron, it's going to possibly make some noise, and it's got that cat back design, pushing CG, etc., etc. When you've got one of these, when you're in the JPX923 hot metal, it is stability frame, it is the chromoly, it is blah blah blah. So we've got tech. Won't go into the full amounts of it because we'd be here all day. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the simulator on now. Let's go have some fun hitting these two, see what the differences are in look and feel before we get to the end of the video. And the end of the video is going to be the interesting one. Why? Because I do my forgiveness testing. Right, so let's go get the simulator on and see how well these things do. Simulator now on, we are at Tetton Pines, hole 16. It's 172 yards, a favourite of mine because the carry is all over water, the whole kit and caboodle. Right, let's go talk about the TaylorMade 2 HD Stealth hybrid irons, but they're hybrids, but they're irons, but they're, yeah, you kind of go there. Every single way you look at this thing, it doesn't matter what angle, it just says I'm a hybrid. But they've stuck it in a standard length KBS Tour stiff, in this case shaft, and so it's a 7 iron, not a 7 hybrid, which would be longer anyway. I want to get through this part of the video, but this part where I have a few hits with this, and then when it comes to JPX923 hot metal next to it, which is possibly the like for like the fastest face when it comes to how springy the face is in any golf club I've tested so far. But I'm putting up against this thing, which actually, like for like, has possibly the slowest face so far. And why have TaylorMade done this? Why have they made something so slow out the middle? Well, I think TaylorMade have either done this behind the scenes a little bit, hadn't said anything, because TaylorMade, generally speaking, don't miss a marketing point. I've never seen a golf club that could compete against this one when it comes to forgiveness. When I say forgiveness, I mean it's retention of ball speed when you don't go hit the middle at all. This thing is crazy. Now, I think what they've done is they've made the outsides as springy as they possibly ever could do. And then they've purposely slowed down the middle so it's closer to the drop-offs that you get around the outside. So instantly, you have a more forgiving iron. Now, does it perform as good when it comes to like for like as no? But then when it comes to drop-off, when it comes to your consistency of hitting distance, regardless of your ability to hit middle, possibly revolutionary when it comes to, shall we say, high handicap golfers. Right, let's go give this a hit because every single angle on this thing is massive, apart from blade lengths. Blade lengths aren't huge, but every single thing is. Right, high draw time. Oh, that wasn't plumb on. That was slightly low. Slightly low on the face. Slightly low, face open, the classic thing which would normally get a huge reduction in efficiency, 1.33. So that's 5mm toe, 10mm low with a 2 open face, generally known as rubbish, but 1.33 efficiency. Efficiency is smash factor, bang for your buck, a measure of how much you get from what you give. Yeah. Normally for this golf club, 1.36 is the up end, the top end of what this thing will do. And generally speaking, unless you hit something like that, you're going to get very close to a 1.36, 1.35, 1.36, 1.34, that kind of number. Right, so that's plumb on. Oh, got to be careful. Yep, that's finished. I haven't got much room on the left-hand side of this green. But that was half a degree across, 1 degree open, 0.8. And that's, yeah, 4 yards left. That is still drawing. Even with that delivery, that is still drawing. 1mm hill, 6mm low, still says, can you fractionally cut, please? No, that's still drawing with that delivery. This thing is mighty impressively hilarious when it comes to how much. I will do one shot at the end, not the end of this, but when it comes to doing a data set, I'm going to see how much I have to leave the face open and it still doesn't cut. It still doesn't fade, because this could be revolutionary when it comes to faders out there, and also when it comes to people who miss the middle by masses. That's gone. No, that's going left. Oh, I need to leave my face more open. So that was my fault for aiming 1 degree left, sorry. 1.2 across, 0.8 open, every single thing. Please, can you cut a little bit? But no, 8.5 yards left, missed the green. That's going to be an interesting chip. The feeling of this thing, 1.35 efficiency, there you go. The feeling of this thing is it's a harsher feel. It definitely is more of a hybrid, like, it's not hybrid, but yeah, it's amongst the loudest of golf clubs. So last one, and we'll go to the JPX923 Hot Metal. Oh, that's not out the middle either. That's going to be right out the bottom. Interesting shot. Go on, go in. That'd be fun. Oh, no. Oh, well, not to worry. What was that? That was right out the bottom. 9mm low, 3mm hill, so 12mm off, 1.33 efficiency. Yep, there you go. So it just makes me die, this golf club. Really, really does. Right, so we'll get into doing the full-on hits with this one to showcase what happens when you hit it far worse than that on how good this thing is. Let's go over to the JPX923 Hot Metal now. Let's give it a quick compare, and then we'll go do the fun numbers bit. Right, data set now changed. We are at the same hole, the same distance, but just changed the golf clubs. I've got the JPX923 Hot Metal in my hands. Now, this is an iron. Now, before looking at the HD, this was one of the chunkiest. Okay, the high launch one is possibly the chunkiest version of all the JPXs. Right, let's go give this one a hit, because this does now look like an iron. It's back in the iron days. Now, I've got to be careful now, because obviously I've gone to high draw, and I've been used to trying to leave my face open. This thing I actually have to try and deliver like normally. If not, this is going to go to the right. But yeah, let's go give this one a hit and see how it feels. Yeah, that's going right. Yeah, face open. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, that was a miss hit. Face open, slightly high in the face, like 3 degrees open, and that's matched basically what the high draw will do on a good shot. Yeah, so with this one on a 0-0 hit and a fairly middle shot, I have seen 1.4 efficiency, which is mental. That is a standard miss hit capture. Face 3 open, and yeah, it's still 1.35. Toey, going over the green, yeah, over in the bunker, there we go. This has got no chance of hitting the green at all. What's that? Yeah, see, 13mm off, 2 open face, 1.37. This thing is hilarious of how fast that face is. 125-mile-an-hour ball speed from that strike with a face which is 2 open. Yeah, that's why this thing is king when it comes to just rocketing off the face. But I've got to try and hit. I should have hit this one first, but then again, if I hit this one first, I'd gone to the HD and everything would have missed the green left. I've got more room to the right than I have the left. That's a better hit. Oh wow, there it goes. 1.38 efficiency, 1 degree open. So within reason, that was 2mm. Oh, it was literally just 2mm off. Face was 1 open still, 1.38. 1.38 efficiency. Right, I'll do one more because that wasn't shot 5 or 4 or whatever the number is. It is the number it should be, apart from the putt that I've just done, or quad, just thought I hit. Last one. That's face open. Face open to a path which is slightly from the inside. There you go, off to the right. 2 different golf clubs, 2 different results. Yeah, slightly path from the inside, 1 degree open, that's why it's going to the right. 1.38 efficiency, not bad at all. Shall I hit another one? Go on, let's see if I can actually get this one turning the right way. I shouldn't have hit the high draw first, but then the high draw would have been going on the left-hand side too much. No, we are still leaking. The difference between getting used to a high draw and going back to normal golf club and everything just fades. Yeah, path perfect, face 2.5 open, strike decent, 1.38 efficiency, even with a 3 open face nearly. Right, so that's all the hitting done. Differences between these two, the 923 hot metal, even though they're both cast, this is obviously a springy hybrid, like this thing feels so much softer compared to this thing, it's ridiculously funny. Yet this thing feels like it's springing off a face like a trampoline, yet this one feels relatively, not dull, but the difference straight away. If you're just going to look at this and I was going to say, well, the winner is this one straight away. Well, it's not that simple. Let's go hit it a bunch of times all over the face. Let's capture the information when you hit it poorly, because obviously these two golf clubs aren't full golfers that hit middle nearly every single time. They're the people that dart around the face a little bit, and they're the important ones to capture. So let's go whack it all over the face and see how well these two do. To the all-important number side of the video, where we're going to take a look at the Stealth 2 HD against the JPX923 hot metal iron, see which one wins in distance and stuff like that, but also when it comes to forgiveness. Now, as my channel has grown, it has morphed and changed over the time, I'm tweaking how I do things to try and make it more concise and make it more simple for people to understand when it comes to the nuances within club design, to make a better decision, better informed decision when you're trying to find the golf clubs for you. So what I'm going to do when it comes to the forgiveness side, rather than try and marry club head speeds and try and get everything right like that, we're going to focus on efficiency. So with efficiency, that is basically smash factor for TrackMan people. It's bang for your buck. How much ball speed do you get for your club head speed? So you'll get good delivery. So if we take a 0-0 delivery, 0 path, 0 face, good strike, there you go. That's your maximum efficiency you can get from that. And then obviously how much you get drop off from around the face when you don't quite catch it. So all I've got to do is make sure we don't really care about speed, but we do care about delivery to a certain extent, obviously path and face to path, and also dynamic loft as well. But again, we'll take strike into account, and that will give us a efficiency number, and depending on how much the efficiency drops is a measure of how much something is forgiving or not. So we'll go straight into the averages first, see how well both of them did when it comes to being hit. I've tried to marry the speed for the averages so you can actually see if any differences between the two. So let's go the TaylorMade Stealth 2 HD irons first. Ball speed on average 120.3 miles an hour, launching at 19.6 degrees, spinning at 5.6, going 36 yards in the air and descending at 48.9 degrees. Remember, 45 degrees is the magic number when it comes to descent angle, because it will stop basically on any green. So you want control when the ball goes into the green. You don't want it going too shallow, because it will just go in like a missile and then scoot out the back. Going 170 yards on average. So if we compare that directly with the JPX923 hot metal, we've got 122.7 miles an hour ball speed on average, rather 120.3. So we've got a 2.4 miles an hour increase in ball speed. Launching at 18.9, not 19.6. We're losing about 0.7 of a degree in launch. Spinning at 5.3 rather than 5.6. So we're losing 300 RPM in spin. Not too much. And it's going at 36 yards in the air and 48.5 degrees descent angle rather than 48.9. I don't think we're going to be arguing too much over 0.4 of a degree. So the interesting thing is that they are going the same height and they're descending the same, but the JPX hot metal is going 6 yards further. Let's go have a look at the club head data to make sure that I am not swinging the JPX faster and cheating. Club head speed for the Stealth first, 88.8 miles an hour, efficiency 1.35. That's the magic number. 3.5 down on attack angle, that's how the golf club's coming down at impact. Club half is 0.9 from the inside, and face is open by 0.6, that's it. Loft is 25.6 degrees, and an average strike is 2 mil toe, 3 mil low, and I have standard deviation on all those numbers that you can see. Standard deviation is a measure of variance, so when we're talking about one golf club, not so much, but when we're marrying or comparing, two golf clubs, we need standard deviation on there to make sure that we're being fair. When I say being fair, is you could have net zero for two different data sets, yet one of the data sets I hit zero every single time. Obviously I'm not a robot, so but if you just zero every single time, but then the other one I went 10 mil heel, 10 mil toe, 10 mil heel, 10 mil toe. Well, over the whole data set on average it'd still be zero. But when it comes to comparing two different golf clubs, one of them is going to completely, absolutely perform differently than the other. So hence why I have Standard deviation. So if we look at the JPX923 Hot Metal now, club head speed 88.7 miles an hour, so 0.1 of a mile an hour slower than the Stealth. Efficiency though 1.38 rather than 1.35, so we are talking a 0.03. Now it may not sound a lot, but 0.03 efficiency is quite a lot when it comes to golf club design. Angle attack 2.5 degrees down, so within 1 degree. Club path 1.1 from the inside, 0.3 open, so baby to the right. And well, yeah, lie doesn't fit. Don't look at the lie. Just don't look at the lie. Media samples. And loft is 24.5, so within 1 degree of the Stealth. Remember, between the Stealth and the JPX923 Hot Metal, there is 1.5 degrees of static loft difference anyway, so within reason 1 degree now when it comes to dynamic. And 5mm toe, 2mm low is the average hit for the Hot Metal. So actually mishit, you could argue. On average, the JPX worse than the closer to the middle 2mm toe, 3mm low of the Stealth. Stand deviations on there, and the stand deviation when it comes to the strike is exactly the same between the two golf clubs. So I've varied the same on both, so I haven't cheated another way. So the interesting thing from that point of view, if you go for the graphical representation, you can see very much so by the flights and also by the club data underneath. I'm seeing when it comes to the left hand trajectory, you can see it's going up as high. The yellow and red are going up the same height. Peak height is exactly the same, and descending exactly the same. But the difference is the Hot Metal is 6 yards longer, just for free. No difference in club head speed. There's within a degree difference when it comes to loft, etc. So it's going way past 1 degree. Does not make 0.03 of a difference when it comes to the efficiency. It's the face, it's the head. And being honest, when it comes to the 923 Hot Metal, if you look at the dispersion rings, it looks as though the dispersion ring on the Hot Metal is bigger, and it is. It's because there is a shot in there that I really possibly could have deleted, but it elongated the dispersion ring, so again, possibly not fair to have it in there, but I hit it. So as far as I'm concerned, if I do it and I put it in there, it's there. Chances are if I'd have hit another 15 shots with each golf club, another 15 shots and another 15 shots, they'll move around to a point of where their dispersion rings will be equal. Anyway, but the JPX wins when it comes to free distance. Remember guys, if it goes up the same height and it descends exactly the same and it just goes longer, it's free distance. You're gaining that for nothing. People say, can you crank the lofts of one to make the extra distance? You can do, but unless you're going to change the centre of gravity or the design of the head, of which you can't, by cranking the lofts more often than not, all you end up doing is making the golf club longer, yes, but you don't then peak height as much because it doesn't launch as high, and then obviously descends shallower as well, and you compromise your functionality of control. Again, that is very much so speed dependent, so the faster you go, the more you can get away with it. Right, let's go to the forgiveness side. So we're going to be concentrating on efficiency when it comes to this. So we'll start off with the 923 Hot Metal 7-iron, 14mm heel, 3mm low, faces within a degree, club paths within a degree, fine. 1.35 efficiency. Yeah, let's go straight over to the Stealth HD, 14mm heel, 2mm low, so 1mm, that's it, gross, better than the JPX Hot Metal, nothing really. 1.32, so path is fine, faces within a degree, it's fine. That is comparable, and you've got a 0.03 drop when it comes to the TaylorMade, and you've got a 0.03 drop in the JPX. Exactly the same. So when it comes to heel strikes, both of them are exactly the same. Right, so we'll go to a massive toe one now for a bit of fun. JPX Hot Metal first. We've got a 6mm low, 20mm toe, faces within a degree, 26mm away from middle. 26 gross away from middle. 133 efficiency, so we've lost 0.05. If we flick that one over straight away to the TaylorMade, we've got 21mm and 5, it's 26 again, so exactly the same gross. Faces within a degree, and we're at 1.32. Now, the interesting thing about 1.32, you could turn around and say, well, that's worse than 1.33. Well, it is, by 0.01. However, it's coming from different starting points. Remember, the Stealth is coming from 1.35, so that's only lost 0.03, where you go to the JPX. That's coming from a much higher a starting point efficiency, so it's losing more, so it's less forgiving off extreme toes. So we already can see the difference between the TaylorMade is that you don't get that same drop off because the face at the middle is not as springy to start with. An interesting one. So we've got two other ones here. We've got the Stealth first. 9mm low, 9mm toe, so 18mm off of middle, so mildly low, mildly toe. So just a mediocre miss hit. Nothing bad, just mediocre. Single digit miss, not a problem. 1.35 efficiency, hasn't lost a single thing. Absolutely fine. Go to the next one where you've got the hot metal, and it's 2mm high, 11mm toe, so slightly more at 13mm when it comes to gross, but I mean it's when it goes to net because you've got 11mm toe there, but it's 1.38. Hasn't moved anything whatsoever, and that's still with a slightly open face as well, but it's not as bad strike as the TaylorMade before. But basically what we're saying is when it comes to middle strikes and when it comes to mediocre strikes, if you're going to have a shot pattern like that, the JPX is going to win. Absolutely. 1.38 efficiency, hasn't lost a jot, and it is flying out there, and it will do for the retention of ball speed. However, if you're going to move around the face somewhat, then you are going to need the TaylorMade, because obviously we are just having a chat about the difference with this design of this TaylorMade, which is unique and very, very intriguing. I did say on my data set when I was hitting on the camera that I will do one shot at the end, and I'm going to try and see if I can, what I need to do when it comes to cutting one or make one fade, because the HD, the TaylorMade Stealth 2 HD is HD high draw. It is a draw bias golf club. So I've captured one here for fun. So we're not looking at efficiency and stuff like that. We're just looking at just the flight. 1.5 across, so swinging left for a right-handed golfer. So fadey, slicey kind of action. And then my face is then open by 3.4 degrees to that. Yet the ball still finished 0.1 yards offline. And if you look at the tilt axis on that, 1.3 degrees. The strike is 3mm heel, 0 height, so it's within reason 3mm off perfect. Yet it's hardly tilt axis anything. There's no, well, 1.3 degrees, there's no tilt axis whatsoever. You didn't even see a deviation in flight. It was that ridiculously, and that's from a 3.4 open face. This HD is a very, very, very draw bias golf club. It is one of the most successfully draw bias golf clubs in irons wise that I've ever used. So conclusion basically between these two, two very interesting golf clubs, two golf clubs come out from a completely different design. The JPX is very much so out there to try and win every single distance game it can do when it comes to springiness of the face. How hot can you make a face? How much can you get that golf ball punching out there? And it is one of, if not the very best iron face that I've tested to date when it comes to that ability to get that ball out there. When it comes to forgiveness, for a standard game improvement iron, it's as good as anything else as well. The difference comes though in this design of the TaylorMade. The TaylorMade is really unique. And the more work I do with it and the more time I spend with it, it's horrifically ugly. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a great fan of game improvement irons anyway, so I don't like hybrid irons. But you cannot deny how interesting this design is for a manufacturer like TaylorMade, and I don't even know if they've either, because I've not heard anyone else talk about like this. Again, not many people do the kind of information that I do when it comes to this detailed. But it's a really interesting thing for amateur golfers, and I'm talking like beginners and stuff like that, people that miss the middle by a lot. The ability to a golf club to have its middle that close to the outer edges, so the fact that there is hardly any drop off whatsoever is miraculous. It is an interesting way to go, and I think the more manufacturers that look at this, or what TaylorMade have done, and even if TaylorMade realise, and if they do watch this video, then well, you've possibly changed iron design going forward, possibly. It is such a unique way to do it. Now, okay, when it comes to a better, excuse me, a better player, is a better player going to be interested in this whole? No, not at all, none whatsoever. However, for the game improvement sector, doing something like this could, yeah, change golf club design for a while, so to speak. So anyway, Hope you liked the video. If you did, go on, big old thumbs up. YouTube liked it, so do I. Next to it is a little red button. It's a subscribe button. It's free and it helps the channel out no end. Next to that is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.